Okay, hi guys. So we are super excited because today's Diamond Call. Ashley McClellan is hosting, and she's one of my favorite humans. I always love voice messaging her. I don't even know how we connected, but your voice popping into my inbox always just makes me happy. She's got such great energy. She actually just hosted the National Wake Up Call a couple weeks ago, and that is super exciting. Huge bucket list item, and she absolutely rocked it. So she's a wife and mom of two. She is 7-star in her first business center. She is 1-star in her second business center and 1-star in her husband. I was laughing when you were like saying this all. They were saying this all in the National Wake Up Call because that's exactly me. Lifetime, but not right now. And then she's a 2-time elite, and she has locked in premier for the year, but she is pushing hard for 3-time elite, which is super cool. So she's SC 65 months consecutively, which is so impressive. And we didn't even talk about what we're talking about. This is kind of hot seat, whatever she wants to talk about. And if you have any questions, don't be a stranger. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. Melissa locked in 59 this month. That is so impressive. Way to go. So, all right, Ashley, we're super excited to hear from you, Mama.
Seriously, I'm super excited too. And yes, I want to do the majority of this hot seat. So bring the questions on, but I will lead with, because National Wake Up Call, that is the big gist of my story. So we're going to talk about maybe bits and snippets of my story that maybe weren't on the National Wake Up Call. So I've gone through a lot of rebuilding this year. This time last year, we were like a week away from locking 7-star and 2-time elite and the bonus all in one qualification for the quarter. And every single diamond I had in my downline was a paid diamond. My sister was a 2-star. My second CBC was 1-star. My husband was 1-star. And all the coaches in Micah's team that were her leaders all talking about, what do you do with your drop diamonds? And, here I am like, oh, what are you talking about? Every single diamond I have in my downline is diamond. And multiple of my coaches were on the road to elite, and we're about to lock elite again. My upline has kind of been in and out of 2-time or of a locking elite back to back. She's hit elite before, but hitting it back to back is something that it took her 3rd time of hitting elite before she did it consecutively. So she could have been 5-time elite before she hit 3-time, if I remember right. And so I was super like, dude, we're going 2-time and we're like doing it back to back. Like, look at me. And the last week of qual was horrible. And we almost fell out, and I was really determined. I wanted to hit elite. My girls had big goals, like, come on. And so I pushed really, really, really hard for the results. I was not asking, okay, remind me your why. Okay, remind me what your vision for your life is. Everything was about, how many invites have you sent today? How many follow-ups have you sent today? When was the last time you did a call to action? Like, everything was very business. And we did it. We hit 7-star. And the day that I woke up and I looked in the back office, I did not do the happy dance. It was like oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's over. I don't think I ever want to rank advance ever again. It was very what the hell did I do to myself? And I had kind of been sharing in my thread I'm in Micah Folsom's downline. And so I'd been sharing in the thread of coaches that are 5-star and above in there. Is it okay if I do nothing the rest of the year now? I mean, I'm going to hit Success Club, and Bar Blend is coming out, so I am going to leverage the launch, but is it okay if I kind of just do front end things? And am I allowed to take my foot off the gas? Because that sucked. I don't really want to continue really pushing for anything right now, because I've locked the bonus, I've locked elite, I've locked am I allowed to kind of slow down and get on and do my crap and then just be done? Can I get out of hustle mode now? And Micah was like, I mean, yes, you don't want to lose momentum, but yes, you can. Okay. But you can just kind of slow down a little bit because you've locked your goals that you had. And so just make sure you're showing up on the front end. But yeah, sometimes that's what I like to do through December if I know I've locked my goals and stuff. And so I was like, great, sounds good. So the next week, miraculously, we were still 7-star. I was super, super excited. We didn't just hit it and then fall, we hit it. And then shit hit the fan. And one of my diamonds got a burr up her butt about how hard I had pushed, which again, I hated how much I was pushing them. But she got a burr up her butt about what I had done and how intense the push was to hold rank, and went on a rampage, like posting publicly, posting in the team page, in message threads, one-on-one messaged every single coach in the team page, in our message threads, whatever. And I woke up the next day to 45 coach cancellations and woke up as a 1-star after we had been 7. And it was, and then Bar Blend came, and Bar Blend was a horrible launch for me. And so I had been expecting this great big volume boost, and then nothing happened. And I had just retired my husband. So we were living 100% off of Beachbody. And my income in December was like pennies. It was like a third of what I made in October. It's fine. I'm not freaking out at all. In, the month of Christmas, it's fine. And then January was okay because we had locked Elite. And so we got the $500 bonus and we got the 5-star bonus because we had locked that before the wheels came off the bus. So January, I didn't really feel it. December, in February, I made $3,000. My family's living off Beachbody. I made $3,000. And and then anybody remember what happened in March? Like the whole world closed. And I was like, I cannot freaking do this. And everything just, and I don't want to wear my glass, Liz. Thank you though. Do you want to put this back on? Okay, come here. And I had to get really freaking clear with myself about like, what do I like, what do I want out of this? What is success to me? Because success is not rank advancing and then wanting to quit the next day. That I never want to do that ever again. Rank advancing is not hitting something fantastic like Elite or whatever, and then all my leaders quit. And then I'm alone because they all left. That's not success to me. And success is not like okay, I know what it's not. What is it? And that has literally been my focus all year, is like what Kate Schultz, who is one of my freaking favorite coaches in the network, heard on a podcast from Jenna Kutchner, I think's her name, that you fill in the blank, I know I am successful when, insert the blank. And that has been super like, okay, not just I will, because that's how our brains want to say it. I will be successful once I've hit successful, once I've locked Elite, once I've locked Premier, once I'm Diamond, once I'm Star Diamond, once I've earned new leader, once I've earned my spot at leadership, once I make $10,000 a month, once I. That is not the sentence. The sentence is, I know I am successful when. And so for the last 6 months, especially 5 months, I have really reversed it. And instead of being focused on what I want, it's been focused on, I know I am successful when. And so really looking at, okay, well, I know I am successful when I work my business hours and I unplug as soon as my cute first grader is done with school and I'm done working for the day. That means I was intentional and on top of my crap in the morning so that when she is home, she's not downstairs watching 18 hours of cartoons. Mom's present, asking about her day, making her a fun after school snack, supervising homework. We're spending time together. I know I am successful when that happens. I know I am successful when my workout is done before my kids wake up. I don't know what it is about Megan and MBF, but like while I am like dying and my heart rate is so high that I can like hear sound, you can always hear sounds. I can like see sounds because I'm like, just heart rate is pulsing in my ears, and then having my children be like, Mom, can I have what I don't, they could be asking if they could, like, nobody be filming right now. They could be asking if they could be having like an illegal drug. And I would be like, Javine, whatever, don't talk to me. I'm trying to work out right now. Like, I need my children to not talk to me when I'm working out. And so I know I am successful when my workout is done before my kids wake up. Like, I need that to be done before my kids wake up. I know I'm successful when I spend time every day doing the right personal development that is targeted towards what I need, not what Micah is loving, not what Jamie Fitzpatrick recommended, not what I'm seeing my success partner is reading, what is targeting my biggest struggle. And when I spent more time in personal development than I spent watching TV, when I make sure those ratios are equal with each other. That means on Sundays, those ratios are off because I don't really do as much PD and I do more TV watching, just because I like try to turn my brain off because I don't work on Sundays and whatever. That's another thing. I know I'm successful when I do not work on Sundays. I need a day to like unplug and recharge. And that shift of like answering that question and figuring out not how hard can I go, how much can I push, what rank can I hit, what like, and actually figuring out the like what actions make me know I'm successful. My Success Club numbers are through the mother freaking roof in the last 6 months. This has not resulted in like, so I decided to take a step back from my bed. No, I am having earth-shattering volume. My income is way higher. This is the highest quarter I've ever had, including quarters that I received the bonus. And I'm not receiving any bonuses right now because my team has not gotten higher than 3-star in my first CDC this year. So I've not received a single elite bonus or a single 5-star bonus. And the 2-star bonuses have been a lot smaller this year than they are typically. So I'm not like making money from bonuses. And yet my income is way higher, even though I'm not getting the bonuses. Okay. And like I said, my SC numbers is through the roof. The amount of coaches I'm recruiting is through the roof. We locked the points for elite faster than we ever have, which means my coaches are hitting Success Club and like more of them faster than we ever have. So that decision to shift what I define success as pivoted, and it's leading to success in my business. They're not these like separate, like, yeah, you can feel successful in your life, but then your business is going to take a hit. When I lined them up, my business saw the like, hey, there we go. That's what was missing. And that it's not, success is not when you reach the thing. Do you push for the thing? Yes. I am, while living in alignment with my I know I'm successful when statements, I have not taken my foot off the gas for the 3-time elite until December 31st. Like we are pushing until we absolutely cannot push anymore because that matters to me. And this is not a like, so it's okay if those things don't happen. Are you going to die if you miss your goal? No, you're not. Like, and that is, as an Enneagram 3, that is hard for me because my brain is very like, you actually might die if you're not like recognized. Like that actually might, but no, it won't actually kill me. But that is where it's making things fall into place better because I am living my I know I am successful when. When do I know I am successful as a leader? When do I know I'm successful as an example to my challengers? How do I know I'm successful in my marriage? How do I know I'm successful as a mother? How do I know I'm successful in the household that I'm running? How do I know I'm successful in my finances? How do I know I'm successful in my own personal journey? How am I successful in my relationship with God? Where am I successful in having fun? That is the hardest concept for me to like. In my head, I am working on my business. I'm working on my journey. I'm spending time with my family. Everything I do fits into like one of those 3 buckets and trying to make a 4th bucket of like, and sometimes I just do something for fun. That is like what? Hence getting ready. That has become my like, we're going to call that beginning. That's the fun bucket. I took 20 minutes and took a shower by myself and like curled my hair afterwards. That's going to count as doing something for me. But like, cause that is just so freaking hard for my brain. So that's my spiel as you guys are, and then let's jump into questions. So as you guys are like pushing for big goals, whether it's now, whether it's next year, whether it's whatever, line them up with what actually matters to you, with what you actually care about. And honestly, I think that makes the negative coaches like repel anyway. What did my computer just do? When I look back at that coach who got a burr in her saddle and just went freaking psychotic, she had freaking incredible goals, and she was one of my top leaders. She was doing super well. And that I really do think, not that I'm not by any means taking all of it on me, but I know if I'd handled things differently, that whole relationship would be completely different. Like I know that I did things that, and not only with her, with all my fallen diamonds, that things came out from multiple of them that were like, yeah, I mean, she said it in kind of a rude way, but she's kind of right. Like, you care a lot more about your goals than you care about helping us actually hit our goals. You don't ask what our goals are. You don't help us figure out how to know we're being successful. You just care about, you will be successful when you reach this thing you're pushing for that has a deadline. So as you guys are pushing for the thing with the deadline, make sure that the people that you're linking arms with and that you're mentoring and encouraging along the way, that what they are trying to achieve and the part they play in your goal lines up with what they want. And you are helping them get what they want, not the Beachbody word, not we're faking things for the sake of a Beachbody word, but what it is they want from this and how the Beachbody word fits into it. Those are two very, very different things. And as I've focused a lot of that this year, like I said, we have hit Premier. So we have one new diamond in the team who's in my second CBC. And so second CBC is back to its lifetime rank. That's my only business center that's at its lifetime rank, but we will take it. One of the three is at its lifetime rank. And she's exploding. She's super, super, super close to locking new leader. She signed up this year and she's most likely going to earn new leader, and she's getting ridiculously close to being able to quit her full-time teaching income because she's making so much with coaching, and she's killing it, and she's fulfilled, and I'm not really having to push. She's like doing it on her own, and I answer questions and help her with placement and make sure she understands volume and stuff, but I'm not pulling. And she's a massive part, I'm sure, of why my income is so stellar this year, is because that's volume. That's what happens when your coaches start seeing success, not just for a rank, but they start actually seeing success. That translates into volume. And she is the most solid diamond in my downline. Like, she's more solid than my second, because she is just solid in what she's doing, and she gives me somebody to chase with Success Club that I'm like bound and determined to make sure I hit Success Club before Amanda does, because like I've got somebody in my team I'm chasing again, and I need that as an Enneagram 3. I need that. And so like it's made such a good shift. It has been such a good shift. So anyway, making sure you define what success is for you. That's where I wanted to go with that. Okay, now I'm gonna look at the chat. Sorry, I got really distracted. Okay. Yes, Melissa's success to me is waking up to messages from my coaches with wins they're having. That's so freaking true. Okay. Dude, good job for already hitting Success Club. I want Premier pretty bad, but I also just want to end the year pushing with my team. I'm sitting at 47 points and I need the ranks. So I would really reverse engineer it. The other thing is make sure your team knows that it's a goal you're pushing for. So like my team is not in the dark that we're pushing for Premier or for Elite. And my sister's team, so my sister is lifetime 2-star, but she's not current 2-star. So that's the piece they're missing for Premier. They have the points, and her team is not in the dark about that. Her team knows that, like, guys, this is what we're missing if we want to be a Premier team. So, and that being said, she is also very clear on the work she's willing to put in and all of that to make that happen. So yeah, so tips on that. Make sure your team's super clear. When it's a team goal, especially when it's down to points, team needs to know why this matters and what their role is. And it needs to be brought up like multiple times a week, if not every single day, so that it's something that is like very, very, very clear. And then you control what you can control and bring in like All the builders, because any builders you bring in now who slay either now or 9-week control freak, like that's all the points right there. And if you're at 47, then your math is like my thing. I freaking love math. So I geek out over the points. I love the points and like all that. If you're at 47 points, that means you're not maxed in APV. So that means you can control that by getting your own Success Club numbers and like capping in that 50 PV. That's a big one you can control with your own personal invites and follow-ups. So I would max in 50 as soon as you can.
I have a question.
Yes.
With your new coaches that you work with, you said that you have a lot of coaches who are hitting Success Club. Are those new coaches too?
Yes, it's only new coaches. I only have 3 coaches in my team left from before this year with that whole like wipeout thing. I have 3 old coaches. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're all new.
Well, that's amazing that you've rebuilt. So do you work with them like that? Like asking them, I know I am successful when, is that what you think has been like the ability to help them see success? Or do you set Success Club as like a goal for them? Or how do you do that with your new coaches?
All of the above. So when I sign a new coach, they do the back office 22-minute trainings. And then they do the video from my upline Micah about our team's tracker. It's very similar to the BAT. It's just a tiny bit different. We reordered some of it because there's some of it that we think isn't in the right order. And yeah, so I think we might have added a couple of boxes for the stories, maybe they're all the same. I don't know. So there's a couple things that are different. So there's a video from Micah explaining the tracker, and it's specifically geared to a brand new coach who has no clue what any of these words mean. So it's something like a brand new coach would fully understand. When they're done with that, we do their one-on-one, and then they get added to my team page and my message threads. I'm thinking about potentially changing that and at least adding them to the team page, but I still feel like they're going to get overwhelmed by crap so trying to figure that out. And then in our one-on-one, by now they know what Success Club is. They know because that's in those videos in the back office. They know what Emerald is. They're familiar with the tracker. They've been in the message threads for a couple days because when they message me to do the one-on-one, I try to give it a week before we actually do it. So, and I tell them, we're going to talk about your sticking points in your tracker. So as you're going through it, let me know which areas you're struggling with, which ones you're feeling, whatever. And then as they go, like I'm just constantly asking, okay guys, and then we have a new coach training they go through after that. That's really, it's all the new coach things really broken down. And I mean, some of my coaches say it's overwhelming and it's too much and they don't do anything with it. Those are not my coaches who are seeing success. My coaches who are seeing success are the ones who are figuring it out and they keep going. And they're the ones who are ultimately, they're the ones who are going to be here in the long haul. I get a lot of coaches who sign up and they get all gung-ho and they say they want to do this. And then they realize that I actually do work. I say I work in my stories every day. I think people just don't fully realize what that means. And they get signed up and they realize that she's people don't just fall in her inbox. She's has intentional business hours. She is sending messages every day. Oh, I don't know that I'm willing to do that. I definitely have those coaches. But I help them figure out what's your definition of success. What is it that you want to achieve? And then let's help them find the Beachbody words that tie into it. So all of my coaches at least have the goal of having their product covered. And that's when I introduce Success Club. They're like, okay, well, you at least need to be hitting Success Club because to have your product covered, we got to be hitting Success Club. And then, so in order to do that, you're going to be doing the business activity tracker. So everything goes back to the tracker. Because I truly believe no matter what your goals in this business are, the answer is the tracker. And if you want to make 7 figures a year, you're just so good at the tracker that your coaches are nailing the tracker and their coaches are nailing the tracker and their coaches are nailing the tracker. And that's why you make 7 figures. It's not that there's some special magical thing. That's what it is. And if you don't really want to build a big team, you just kind of want to cover your own product and you're here for the community and the accountability, then you just crush the tracker. And you helping 3 people, you don't have to stress about helping your people crush the tracker, but you need to be crushing the tracker so you're bringing people in to cover the product. That's the tracker is the answer to everything. So yeah, that helped. I was kind of all over with that.
No, that did help. I have one more question on top of that. You said that your recruiting has been way up. Is that just because of your like intentional time and gaining like clarity, or do you feel like there's something that switched for you that has helped you recruit higher numbers?
So for me, whenever I go through periods where my recruiting is all of a sudden like, whoa, what just happened? It's always because I'm a very authentic person. So like, I'm not good at, not that I would try, but I'm not good at like showing up as someone else when I'm actually feeling what that's not me. So, when I am like freaking out over the top excited about something that's happening in my business, I can't help but talk about it. And that always brings builders. So, since July, I have like really gone all in with my journey and been sharing about it like very authentically rather than like kind of sharing what was happening with my journey. And if I was not doing what I was supposed to, that I would just kind of hide. I stopped doing that and started like authentically sharing what the freak was going on with my journey. And it started with that layer of accountability and the mindset shifts and whatever, as my journey started like, holy crap, like she's getting results. Like, whoa, like after I had been stuck for 2 years in my personal journey, all of a sudden started getting results. My Success Club numbers skyrocketed. And therefore my commission skyrocketed. I have a second CBC. So being able to push so much of that through my second CBC skyrocketed. And I could not shut up about my income. And that like, okay, so I had a record-breaking income again. Oh, I did it again. Like that it was like super like, it happened again. And it's because I'm crushing my journey. Like, you guys, this is freaking insane that this is my job. And that brought in a whole bunch of new builders. And so right now, I'm going through a big phase that I've been talking a lot about my husband's job. And that we retired my husband, like I said, a year ago, and he hated it. In addition to the fact that our income completely disappeared because my team left. And so it started coming back, but my highest month is the month that we decided like, you know what, you probably should get a job, because my husband's just not a stay-home dad. He's not. And and again, I know I am successful when that was not our definition of success. And I thought it was. It's not. That is my husband turned into a different person when we brought him home. That was not good. And, so over the I was very afraid to talk about how he was going back to work, because I was like, well, people are going to think that Beachbody's not doing very well. And that's the opposite. I'm having record income right now. That's not what's happening. And so I kind of talked about it, but I kind of shied away from it. And I've really talked about it the last month, that like how much he's loving it and how much he's killing it. And he's getting public recognition from his boss, which his boss is someone that he's followed on social media for like 5 years. He is like idolizes his boss. He's like very big in the personal development world, and he's a mindset coach in addition to running an apparel company. And now like Jake has his phone number. He has Jake's phone number. He's been to Jake's house. We're probably going to be invited to his wedding. He did a post about Jake the other day in his Instagram stories. Jake, it just came out today. Jake's a model for some of the new apparel that's coming out and is going to be featured on their website. And like all these things that are happening, that like how much, again, I know I am successful when my marriage has never been better in my entire life than when I am doing something that freaking fulfills me and he is doing something that freaking fulfills him. And those two things together have turned into like rocket fuel for like our whole life. And I've been talking about that, about how freaking cool it is that technically he would get paid more if he worked at McDonald's. So when I say that this is a dream job, this isn't a dream income. This is just his dream job. And he would not be able to say yes to this job if it wasn't for Beachbody. And that is helping people connect that, like, yeah, I thought my husband loved his job. My husband doesn't feel that way about his job, though. That would be cool if if it didn't matter how much money my husband made, he just did it because it made him happy. Like, that is, and when I do my one-on-ones with my new coaches recently, that is coming out. They're like, my husband just doesn't love his job. And I think it would be so cool if I could help take some of the financial stress off so that he could do something he enjoyed. Like, that's coming up in my new coach one-on-ones because my new coaches are connecting to that part of my story. So that whenever I have something that is like a big part of my like, I'm so like, this is amazing, how is this my job, that's when I get an influx of new coaches. So the Success Club trips, my gosh, please, for the love of all holy, I need Mexico to happen in the spring. Like, that is always when I get an influx of coaches, because I can like very authentically say, how is this my job? How is this my job? That I am my best self, and I read a book, and I drink a shake that like literally has changed my body from the inside out, and I push play on a workout that I love that makes me want to give my children drugs if they'll just leave me alone, but that's another story. And I like get to check into a fun group and have fun with them. And Beachbody took me on an all expense paid trip for me and my husband to stay in a resort with waterfront views out my window that I can like watch dolphins from my what, how is that a thing? And that is when I get builders, that I get people who are like, I don't know, but I want to learn about this. Can I learn about this? Tell me about this. That like so Success Club trips are always huge for me. Whenever I'm doing income is doing really well, which my income does really well when my Success Club is doing really well. Success Club does really well when the vitals are going really well. So I can control that all the time. And when that happens, like, that is when I'm like, man, how is this my job? And that's when builders come. So, yeah, did that help? Yeah. Okay.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna bust through these questions because you guys have some freaking good questions. Okay, are most of your builders challengers first? Yes, like 95% of my builders were challengers first. They fell in love with the challenge group, and then I invited them to do the business side. So that being said, I do notice that a lot of my coaches come in with ridiculously small goals because they did not come into this looking for a business. And some of them struggle with the tracker. Like I said, I get coaches who find out how much I work and they all of a sudden realize this isn't the unicorn rainbow thing they thought it was. Even though I don't say it's a unicorn rainbow thing, I talk about how I'm very intentional and I work and whatever. But I do get people because they just want the accountability and whatever that they don't necessarily want to take off. But when I get a challenger who gets ridiculously amazing results that they can't help but talk about it and people are coming to them, like, that's who turns into my, yeah, that's, most of my builders are challengers first. Yes. Okay, for real, I am all for this race and the team page thing. That's genius. Oh, hold up. I'm going to write that down. Because that's genius. Because I have a whole bunch of competitive people in my team. And I'm very competitive. I want to be the first one done every day. That will make me wake up and do my crap. Melissa, I only have my builders because I got vulnerable about being so alone in this business. That was me for a very long time. And I talk about that all the freaking time. So my team knows how much I was alone for a long time. And I mean, now at this point, only 3 of them were here from last year. But at the beginning of the year, it was very like, where did everybody go? And the team was super like, whoa, where'd they all go? And a lot of my team felt it. And now as they've continued to trickle off and only a couple are left, that those are the ones who I know are my lifers, that they can just get over their limiting beliefs and figure things out. And seriously, Ashley Feldison's right about all the things. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Focus on your journey and the rest will fall into place. Guys, if I'd heard that 5.5 years ago, I think I probably would be like a 7-figure earning 15 star by now. I just could not seem to figure that one piece out. It's kind of, you know, like we're health and fitness coaches. I don't know why I didn't understand that if you are not on a health and fitness journey, you're going to be working 9 times harder than you have to. Because that's the thing. I want to talk about that really fast. That my business, how my numbers are like exploding right now. So my average for Success Club, January to June was like, I don't know, probably like 15 was my average. And some of those months was like 10 on the last day of the month, like skin of my teeth, trying to get to SC10 because that's my non-negotiable. And I was kind of stressed. SC from July to now, I think my average is 60. Like my SC numbers are significantly different right now. My work I'm doing has not changed. I'm doing the same amount of connections. I'm doing the same amount of invites. I'm doing the exact same amount of follow-ups. That has not changed. My journey changed. So my energy and my authenticity behind like, why have you not joined my freaking group yet? You're an idiot. Like, that's real and people can feel it and people are like, okay, I need to know what you're doing. What are you doing? Can you tell me about what you're doing? And that is like, yes, my connections, my invites, my follow-ups hasn't changed, even though my income and everything has absolutely skyrocketed, because when you actually do your journey, it makes your business a lot easier. Okay, seriously. Okay, these are freaking good. And I love how many of you have like the exact same thing with your husband. So Jake, yes, Riviera Maya is Mexico. That's like, it's almost Cancun. It's the Cancun airport. It's just not Cancun. Jake originally was not planning on being like stay-home dad, and then Corona happened and all of his plans for what he was going to do with his time like got ripped out from underneath him because the world closed. So, but still, that was so bad. Yes, for real. The bat from the get-go is huge. And yes. I sign my people as discount coaches. Is that what you were asking, April? I lead with the discount. So I start all my people as discount coaches. That being said, I have come to expect this, and I have to constantly remind my team, discount coaches only stick around for like 2 to 3 months. If that, I had one that signed up Wednesday that her cancellation just came through today. That's what, 5 days? Like, it's great. I'm fine. We're fine. It's fine. And she's in a spot where it like just created a hole. So I'm like, thank you. Now I have to fill this by Thursday. Thanks, girlfriend. So that, like, I have to remind my coaches that yes, you can build really fast. If you're building with discount coaches, it's not stable. You cannot take your foot off the gas, because the cancellations coming through will kill you. And that you will like, oh, I suck. Where's everybody going? It's not you. Discounters quit. That is just what happens. Discounters quit. And so having that mindset of, yeah, it's great that I have 7 active coaches right now. I could get 2 cancellations tomorrow and be back down to 5. Like, I have to keep going. You have to keep going, especially when you always have to keep going because builders quit too, but discounters quit. So discounters quit. You cannot rely on them. What are you doing in your challenge group as far as talking about coaching to get them interested in it? Or is it just through personal message when you see someone rocking it? It's all of the above. So most of my challengers see my Instagram stories because that's how they found me. So they see in my stories that I'm talking about coaching all the time. And a lot of them, it's funny, a lot of them message me by saying, I just want info about your group. I don't want to coach. And okay, sounds good. So get them set up for the discount, and I make it like abundantly clear that like, this is not me tricking you into the business. You just save 25% on your product next month. If you end up not liking the supplements, I'll help you turn it off, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Let's set up for the discount. So they get set up for the discount. They start rocking it. We're talking about it in my challenge groups. They do personal development. It's a massive part of my groups. And so they're already doing 2 of the vital behaviors because they're being proof the product works and they're doing personal development. I do a weekly call with my challengers. So it's kind of like a mini team call. So they're already using Zoom. They're already used to seeing me and other people on the Zoom. They're already really engaging in the challenge groups and whatever. And then I invite them all one-on-one to the coaching opportunity. So I don't like wait for them to come to me. I invite them at about the 3 to 4 week mark from when they purchased. And I have sent like, the wording's not anything crazy, but it's like, let me see if I can find it. Says, okay, girl, we got to chat about you joining my team. I seriously think you'd love it, especially because it's long-term accountability, long-term community and friendships, and long-term income for things you're already doing in the boot camp. And because you're already set up as a discount coach, it doesn't cost you anything. Is that something on your radar? And a lot of them, it's like freaky how many of them come back and say like, actually, yeah, I have been thinking about it after watching your stories and seeing some of the stuff you've shared, but I didn't message you and was afraid because insert limiting belief. And then I can work them through the limiting belief. They can get information about coaching. Some of them join, some of them don't. Of the ones that join, like I said, some of them take off. Some of them get overwhelmed because they realize like this is an actual job and that you have to treat it like a job if you want it to pay you like a job. And then they kind of freak out and whatever. But that's like that's where most of mine come from. I do have challengers who start, but they don't see, in my experience, they don't see anywhere near as much success because they're trying to make money from something they don't have a testimony of yet. And their mindset's not in the right place. And then they get overwhelmed trying to check into this challenge group. And there's this team page. And I'm trying to watch the videos on this website. And here's this new coach. And they just do nothing. And so that's part of that is probably because I have a belief that if I sign up people at the same time that they're just not going to do anything. But none of those people have ever turned in anything. Every single diamond I've ever produced in my downline was someone, not just personally sponsored, downline wide, was someone who fell in love with the products first and loved the challenge group first. So I help them love that first, except for Diamond, who had a burr up her butt. She's the only one who did not fall in love with the product first, which again, that is probably something that makes me like, I don't want coaches like that, but she didn't actually love the products. She just wanted to make money. And so I want my coaches to fall in love with the product first. That's very important to me. Okay.
That was so good. I love you.
I love you guys. You guys have good questions. These are good. Okay. Gonna be obnoxious. This is not obnoxious. How many invites a day? When are you suggesting for your pushers? So I'm gonna shut my blinds because these are like awkward right now. So it depends. And this is the other thing that I really have to communicate to my team, that when you are in a season of push, it's different. And that you have to tell yourself, this is a season of push. This is not my everyday situation, because that's not sustainable. And when this business is a crock pot business in a microwave world, and there are coaches who can sprint, they can't sprint forever. And that you gotta find your pace. So my pace, no matter what, I don't care what I did. I mean, today's Monday. So Friday, because I don't work on Saturdays, Saturdays and Sundays. So I don't care what I did Friday. I don't care how many things I sent Friday. I will send 10 brand new invites. To me, an invite is I've literally never talked to you before. It is not, and therefore my invite wording has not changed in 3 years. That was on purpose, because it would be kind of awkward if I sent you the same wording I already sent you 2 months ago. That'd be really awkward. So an invite is a seed in the ground. And I've like literally never talked to you before. I send 10 of those a day, at least, no matter freaking what. When I'm in a season of hustle, I go crazy on my follow-ups, not my invites, because invites take longer to harvest than follow-ups do. So I make sure, but if I am in a season of harvest and I'm super, super hungry, think like a farmer. Super hungry, you're not going to go outside and put like 400 seeds in the ground and put water on them and go inside, eat lunch, and then come back out and expect a tree, right? That is not how it works. But you also can't just walk to the tree that has all the fruit that you planted a year ago and do like, and granted, that's where you got to pretend and use whatever, because I know farmers actually have seasons of when they plant things, whatever. But I make sure that every day I'm not just pulling the fruit off the tree, I'm also putting the seed in the ground. So I do at least 10 invites. That's usually all I do though, is 10. And even in a season of hustle, I only do 10 invites because I'm putting the seed in the ground. And then I will go freaking psychotic on my follow-ups. So in a given day, a normal day, I try to do 10 follow-ups a day. So that's what, 50 a week, Monday through Friday. Right now, I'm doing a lot more than that. I'm doing like probably 25 at least follow-ups, because we're trying to lock 3-time elite. And if I'm expecting I told my team, some of them need like 5 coaches. I told them, if I want you guys to get 5, I'm going to sign 25 between right now and Thanksgiving. I'm going to sign 25 coaches. And so if that's not just going to magically happen, like I have got to be sending follow-ups. So, yeah, I'm in like a push right now with my team. So that being said, I communicate that to my team, that this is a season of push. I am not going to send 25 to 50 follow-ups every day for the rest of forever. I'm doing that right now because we're in a season of push. And as soon as we lock our goal and or January comes, whichever one comes first, I will go back to only doing 10 follow-ups a day. Like that number will slow way back down, back to my pace number. But right now we're not pacing, we're racing. Like we are up against a deadline. So we got to hustle. Okay. Yes. Okay. How do you feel about cold invites? A majority of my challengers are from cold, but I'm at a standstill. Okay. So this is, my invites all come from likes, comments, story watchers. That is where I invite from. I do not just invite random people who are my friends or that are following me or whatever. If they're not engaging in my crap, I do not message them. I think that's really weird. I think those messages are really weird. When I get those messages from other people, I think that's really weird. Like I gauge probably too much of this business about what I feel when other people send me things. So I take that into consideration. So in my head, that's not a cold invite. If they are watching my stories, that's not a cold invite. They're watching my stories. If they're liking and commenting on my stuff, that's not a cold invite. They're engaging in my posts. That's not a cold invite. So I invite them, and I don't connect the whole form thing that you like need to ask them X number of questions for. Nope. I can tell when someone is doing that to me. Again. What?
Let's get that boy in the heart.
That's amazing. I have no idea what you just said. Okay, go sit on the bed. I'll be right there, okay? No clue what she just said. So I can tell when someone's trying to form me because they're getting ready to invite. And and again, this isn't every coach's problem. I have to remember this, but like between Instagram and Facebook, I think I'm at 24,000 followers between the two. When someone is like randomly in my inbox, it's like, hey girl, I was just thinking about you. How's your Monday going? Okay, what are you trying to sell me? Like, I have way better things to do with my time than to like reply to your hey girl. I would much rather someone just get to the point and say, hey, I noticed that you liked my picture the other day of my new nails I got from Red Aspen. I'm freaking loving them. They're so fun and they're super convenient. Are you interested in getting a box, or were you just clicking on them because you think they're super cute? Either way, thanks for the support. I would totally reply to that message. She wasn't BSing. She didn't try to like ask how my weekend was. Girl, why do you want to know how my weekend was? Like, you're weird. Just ask me what you want to ask me. And I did like your picture. Just ask me. So then I'm either gonna, and I'm not gonna be weird and not reply to that, because I'm gonna be like, either actually, yeah, I do want to get some of those, or I'm gonna be like, no, I just think they're super cute and you're totally rocking them, girl. Good for you. Like, but I'm gonna reply to her. I'm not gonna be weird. And then she can come back and be like, oh, thanks. I really appreciate the support. How was your weekend? And I'll be like, oh, it was so good. How was yours? Like, I will totally talk back to her because that doesn't seem weird to me. So that's how I do my invites. My invites say, I noticed you've been loving all my stuff and I really appreciate it. It's not always easy to be vulnerable, so I really appreciate the support. Were you interested in getting some info about my boot camp, or are you just being a cheerleader in my corner? Either way, I see you and I appreciate you, so thank you. Guess what? 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 come back and say, no, but I think you are inspiring. I love following you. You're funny. You're blah, 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 blah. I do bar. I'm fat and happy. I do Weight Watchers. I'm a CrossFit instructor. Whatever. No, but da 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 da. They talk to me. 1 out of 10 ignores me. So I do get people who ignore me, but it's not many. And 1 out of 10 asks for information. That means in 50 invites a week, 45 people are either saying no, or they're not replying, and only 5 are asking for info. And of those 5 in a week that ask for info, it's a 0.5% chance it's actually going to purchase, because I put in the freaking seed in the ground. Like, it's going to take a second for those people to come back around. But the 1 in 5 that come back and they're like, actually, I do want some info. Those are the ones that I'm going to follow up with till they block me. And that, like, I will follow up with you. You're going in my follow-up system. And that those are the people I'm going to check up with. And then those are the ones that like rain from the sky when people see my Success Club numbers, that they're like, how are you doing this? Because I'm sending follow-ups to people who had said yes 3 years ago, but never even purchased. I didn't forget about them. I'm still checking in with them. Like, that's what I'm doing. So, okay, that's cold invites. Have you been connecting or engaging with their content via social before? Are they people watching your story? Yep, you totally said that. I do not stress about connecting with them. They watch my stories, I send them a thing. Like, I'm working on this. I try to at least make sure I'm following them, because I've noticed that's kind of awkward if I'm not even following them and I send them the thing. But I don't stress about, like, I need to have commented 4 times in the last 3 weeks before nope, that feels very inauthentic to me. Okay. Yeah, I don't like cold invites at all. Okay, I love all this. Are you voice texting when you do this? You have so much great energy. So I try to use a lot of emojis so that people can feel my energy. And here's the thing, even if you're just typing words, people can feel your energy. Like, you know this. You've had a day that your husband or your boyfriend, that you were mad at them, and so you messaged them back that you were like, fine, period. Okay, period. Like, people, you do not have to be using your voice for people to feel your energy. It's a real freaking thing. So I make sure that I'm listening to something that's got me pumped up, and that I usually drink Energize when I do my power hour, so that I've got like extra excitement, and Energize just makes me happy. I will do shady things for Energize. So I'm like, oh, I can have Energize if I do a power hour. Okay. And I will do that. I work out for Energize, and so I'm like happy when I do my power hour, and all my wording and everything is typed up once. So my whole flow is very copy paste. My invite, I've used the same invite for 3 years. The only thing I change is, like, I will occasionally change an emoji. Right now, I can actually tell you. So that cheerleader wording I sent for, like, are you being a cheerleader or whatever? I have not updated that since July 28th. So that's the last time I changed the emojis. Like, I find the wording and I stick with it. My follow-up system, I don't change it. And I make a video that explains my challenge group. So when somebody asks for it and they're like, yeah, I do want info about what you're doing, it's a video. I do update that occasionally. But then other than that, I don't update that. So everything is very copy paste. So I voice message back if people are asking something that my copy paste stuff doesn't work for, rather than trying to like paste and then fix it to make it whatever. I just voice message it. But if my copy paste thing will work, I just copy paste all of it. Follow-up system. Okay, this is a thing. Okay. Yes, I do text replacement in Instagram, but I haven't used, there's apparently an app called Ditto where you can like do this for your whole, I haven't figured that out yet, because I'm good at making my life really complicated. I need to figure that out. But Micah uses it too, and she swears by it. And don't tell Micah I'm not using Ditto, because she will be like, what? You still aren't using that? But I do use it in Instagram, and I freaking love it. And then in my computer, they're all just saved in my notes. So I just type in a keyword and then they'll all pop up. Okay, follow-up system, super, super, super fast. They don't go, I use Teamsy. Let's start there. I'm gonna type it in the chat. Nope, it auto-corrects all the time, and it drives me nuts. Teamsy, there we go. And it is awesome. If you do it, don't set it up the way that they tell you to, because I think that's dumb. I don't use it to keep track of connections, expanding, any of that, or my invites, okay? So I do my connecting, I do my expanding, I do my invites, and I'm just doing like ticks on a Post-it note so that I know I did as many as I wanted to. I do 10 invites, I do 20 connections, I try to follow 50 people on Instagram. That's what I do for my expand, connect, invite, okay? Then as I start working my way through my inbox, the people who reply or comment on stories or whatever that are like, hey, tell me I want info about what you're doing, whatever. Those people, the ones who reply to my invite. Like I said, I'm not going to forget about this person. They're going to go in my follow-up loop, and I'm going to follow up with them till the end of time. So they go into Teamsy, and someone originally, day one, hey, I'm interested in your group. Can you tell me about your group? So I say, yeah, heck yeah, I'd love to get you some info. just make sure I'm not stepping on any toes. Do you already have a Beachbody coach? Make sure that we're good there. Assuming they come back and they're like, nope, I don't. Okay, great. I made a video about my group. It explains how everything works. Watch it. Let me know if it sounds like we're on the right track. If we are, we'll get you locked and loaded and ready to go. I plug it into Teamsy and I say sent video, and then I mark it for 2 days from now. So then 2 days from now, Teamsy will be like, don't forget to talk to Rachel. So then I go back to Rachel if she hasn't come to me, and I'm like, and then my wording says, did you get a chance to watch that video? Super short. And then I mark my Teamsy for 4 days. If 4 days later, they still have not come to me, so now we're 6 days from when I sent the video, I will send another one that says pest. That's what my keyword is. It says, I don't want to be a pest in your inbox. I just know you were thinking about what I'm doing. Are you still interested? And then in my Teamsy, I put pest, F-U. Rachel Baldwin taught me that you should call them F-U's. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm not a child. And then you mark it for 1 week. So then it will remind me in another week. So at this point, it's been 13 days since I sent them the original information. And then I send them one I called it the forget FU, that it just says, just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. When you're ready to come do this, I'd love to have you in my group. In the meantime, here's a free workout to do in the cracks of busy mom life. Insert Vimeo link for MBF, and then or a busy life. It doesn't say busy mom life because not everybody's a mom. And I've noticed that. And I was someone who, when I was not a mom and people would call me, I would get like very offended because we were like struggling to get pregnant and whatever. So I do not say mom life, like we steer clear of that. So, and then at the bottom, it asks a question that like, have you set up for Christmas yet? Any fun plans for Thanksgiving? Except I don't feel like asking people if they have plans for Thanksgiving. That could be a politically incorrect situation. So have you set up for Christmas yet? Something nice and fluffy and whatever. And then I mark the follow-up for 2 months. And then 2 months from now, I will message them and say, then it's called my radar FU. And then the radar one says, let me see if it'll come up. Hey, just wanted to check in with you. I know we talked about you jumping in my boot camp a while ago, and I'd love to start working together. Is that still on your radar? And then I mark it for like 3 months after that. And then I'll just send them whatever one is what I'm using right now. So right now, the one says, hey, wanted to check in quick. I'm getting a few more girls plugged into my virtual boot camp that's all about working on our health from the inside out, strengthening our mindset, working out, learning more about nutrition, and tracking some daily habits to help us feel more empowered. I'd love to get you going. It'd be so fun to lock arms and do it together. Is that something that's still on your radar? And then I'm just going to mark it for 3 months and mark it for 3 months and I'm just gonna keep freaking going until they block me or they say yes. Like that, or if they say no, like if they like come back and they're like, I had one the other day that I've been following up with for like ever that came back that was like, I'm really good. I really am not interested in joining your groups, but thanks though. But I was like, okay, well, I'm taking you out of my loop. Like I'm sick of having this conversation. So, yeah, that's my follow-up loop. And so depending on where I'm at, some of the people I'm sending did you watch the video? Some of the people I'm sending pest. Some of them I'm sending radar. Some of them I'm sending forgot. Some of them they did come back to me and I'm like trying to like figure out where we're at in the flow. Some of them they have a pending share cart. Some of them it's been 6 months and some of them it's been a year and I totally dropped the ball and my assistant found them. Like it's all over the place. So, yes. Okay. And then on Teamsy, do you just set a task for the 2 months and call it yes. So I don't put in Teamsy what it is I'm going to do on my next follow-up. I put in what I sent. So when I go to mark the connection, I'll mark that like radar FU because that's what I sent. So then I know the next time it comes up when I look at the activity notes, then I can see, oh, I sent pest FU. This is someone I need to send the forgot one because it's someone who's just not messaging me back. So I mark what I sent, not what I'm going to send. Does that make sense? And yes, I only use it for follow-ups. So, and I learned that from Rachel Baldwin. So I don't use it to track my connections, my expanding, my inviting. It is literally a space for my follow-ups. And it is hot. And then I also use like a newsletter situation, and if people want to subscribe to like free recipes and whatever, and then I always put a plug in there for my challenge groups too, and I send out a newsletter once a week. I don't feel like I'm getting people from that though. I do it, and Josh Coates, who's like one of my favorite people on the planet, told me that will make my life easier if I do that. It is not turning into anything yet, but I also haven't been doing it all that long, so I'm trying to trust him and it's easy to send it to like 700 people in a week. It's just easy, and I'm providing value, and sometimes it takes a minute for people to see the benefit and whatever. So I'm telling myself someday that will pay off, but I also still do follow-ups one-on-one. I don't just do them through, I send my weekly newsletter. That counts as my follow-up. I'm like in their Instagram or their Facebook. I said that weird. Talking to them, because that's where they ask me for information. That's where I'm gonna like keep coming back to them, because that's where they talk to me. Yes, Rachel is seriously like, oh my gosh, I love her so much.
I love her, but I am going to cut you off. I would love to hear you talk, but I know you would talk forever, and you have things to do.
And I need to go get my kid down for a nap, because I have my team call with my clients in an hour.
So. I know. I knew you had a busy day. So
yes.
We could ask you questions all day, because you are just a wealth of knowledge and such a joy. And we appreciate you so much. This was so good. I know every single person that is on and that is about to watch this is going to be like, wow, life changed. It was such good. No, I'm serious. Like, you just simplified it all, and it was absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for your time. You gave us an hour. I adore you. And I'm looking forward to hosting your call. You just let me know. I'd love to push, because we've got big goals together. So I'm happy to keep you accountable. And have the best Monday.
You guys too. Thank you for having me. Okay. See ya.
Bye. Thanks, girl.